Welcome to Selectory, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the 10 best Greek mythology movies. For 2 millennia, Greek myths continue to excite people and provide inspiration for movies. There are many adaptations of these myths or ancient Greek dramas, but some are more compelling than others. The touchstones of the stories are legendary gods and heroes, who come to life on the screen in a way that is unforgettable. Whether you're a die-hard fan of the classics or you need a refresher, here are 10 movies about Greek mythology to watch right now. Number 10. The First King. This film may not be as deep as Revenant or as striking as Valhalla Rising, but it sure does get close. The fact that we're mentioning it in the same breath as 2 other films is no coincidence. Il Primo Re is a film that uses similar storytelling devices to create an immersive experience. Minimal dialogues, stunning visuals, heightened reality, and metaphysical experiences are all created to bring the story to life. This provides an immersive style that may be slow to some audiences, but also raises the quality of the film. The beautiful thing about Il Primo Re is how it reimagines a well-known myth, staying true to its roots, and merging with realistic historical settings. The villages, armaments, religions are close to what was seen in the pre-Roman period. Obviously Il Primo Re can't be considered historically accurate, but it definitely captures the feel of that ancient time. What we appreciated was the choice of using Latin as the language. It isn't the first time this has happened, but they did it in the original pronunciation of Latin, which is quite admirable. If you're looking for a film that's thought-provoking, violent, and provides a glimpse into the founding of an empire, this is worth watching. Number 9. Clash of the Titans. Perseus, a demigod who was born of God but raised by humans, vows to take his revenge on Hades when he sees his mortal family perish. As the battle between gods and men heats up, the doomed city of Argos becomes a battlefield. But if Hades releases the legendary sea monster Kraken, it's over for Argos and its people. Princess Andromeda, the fairest of them all, faces an impossible choice: sacrifice herself or watch her people die. Now with nothing left to lose, Perseus is thrust into a perilous quest. He must stop the forces of evil from destroying the world with absolute chaos and darkness. But to save humankind from an onslaught of terrible demons and monsters, one must first embrace destiny. Will Perseus defy the gods and save humankind in a Clash of the Titans? Clash of the Titans can have some flaws, but it's still an impressive visual spectacle. The story is just a framework for the movie's true stars: monstrous creatures, exotic landscapes, and exhilarating battles. Knowing this going into the movie should make for an enjoyable movie experience. Number 8. Immortals. Immortals blends CGI and stylized action to create a cinematic experience set in the ancient world. Lots of slow-motion sword and axe fighting, blood and gore spatter across the screen poetically. With the attractive Frida Pinto in the role of Phaedra, a scantily clad virgin oracle, and the incredibly masculine Henry Cavill as Theseus, it's no wonder this movie has so much eye candy. In the 13th century BC, a mortal peasant is chosen by Zeus to battle King Hyperion. As this evil king searches for an ancient weapon called the Epirus bow, it falls to Theseus to stop him. With the bow, Hyperion would be able to conquer not just the world of man but also, by freeing the legendary Titans, challenge the gods themselves. The gods are forbidden from interfering with the wars of mankind, but that only causes more problems. When Athena, Apollo, and Poseidon can't resist, they lead to a climactic battle inside the walls of Mount Tartarus, where the Titans have been imprisoned for centuries. Immortals is a modern Hollywood take on an ancient legend. It's a fun, entertaining movie with beautiful visuals and an interesting enough story. It would make for a good night out, if that's what you're looking for. Number 7. Hercules. The legend of Hercules has been told and retold for centuries, and now we're exploring a different look at one of the greatest heroes in all history. This time we see him as a mercenary who works to do good. However, just because he's done his famous 12 labors doesn't mean he's finished. He still has room in his heart to be a man worthy of legends. Played by Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, this Hercules is haunted by a past event that will stop at nothing to escape. He must overcome the difficulty to help end a civil war in Thrace. The film does a great job of walking the line between the myth and the man. It asks whether a single person could have accomplished all of Hercules' feats, or if there have been exaggerations along the way. The story is adapted from the original Radical Comics title by Steve Moore. But while there are some similarities, the film is bigger and more intense. The movie has a good mix of violence and humor. It's also got some heartbreaking moments, but lots of laugh-out-loud dialogue as well. This entertaining and boisterous action flick is an engaging, emotional, and awe-inspiring adventure. Hercules offers a fresh take on the classic story of a legendary character and his heroic feats. Number 6. Agora. In Amenabar's fascinating first feature since the remarkable The Sea Inside, we are swept into Alexandria in North Africa, named in honor of Alexander the Great. This city was a melting pot that welcomed people from around the world, known for its diversity, its lighthouse as a port city on the Mediterranean, and its incredible library filled with all the knowledge of the globe. With its ambition to be as groundbreaking as Avatar, Agora takes us to a time and place that has not been covered in films. Yet the subjects it deals with, religious conflict, fundamentalism, mysteries of science, fear of the other, violence that follows in a world of fear and prejudice, and the difficulties in respecting diversity, remain relevant today as they were in the 4th century. Amenabar has masterfully crafted a film that takes us into new depths of cinematic exploration, reminding us of the desperate need in our times for openness and hospitality. One of the best films of 2010, Agora does more than just present beautiful cinematography and an excellent cast. Rich thematic material, unforgettable characters, and a staggering performance by Rachel Weisz as Hypatia make this movie amazing. Number 5. Jason and the Argonauts. Back in times of yore, men were tough guys and ancient Greek heroes were actors wearing lots of tanning product. Myth-based fantasy cinema was enjoying a golden age. Among its high points was Jason and the Argonauts, a story of a young Thessalian favored by Hera, who set sail on the high seas in search of a treasure hidden in a neighboring land. The golden fleece is the elusive prize he wants, but the people who own it want to keep it, and reaching it will prove to be a tremendous challenge. This is Ray Harryhausen's best work. He was proudest of this film, and his favorite creatures were the stop-motion skeletons that appeared in a lengthy battle sequence. They might not have the shiny, CGI look of modern monsters, but their awkwardness is what makes them creepy and otherworldly. All of the fights are put together beautifully and they deliver in action terms. This may be an old story, but it continues to feel very much alive. One of those rare films with universal appeal, Jason and the Argonauts is a thrilling adventure that never bores the viewer. It is rewarding to watch over and over again, and those fearsome skeletons will thrill you every time. Number 4. Wonder Woman. Ever since Wonder Woman was created in 1941, her story has always been at its best when it embraces the feminist ethos of her character. When artists turn Wonder Woman's compassion into the key to understanding her, rather than singling out her brutality in battle, audiences are privy to a superhero who offers what no other can, a power fantasy that privileges women's interiority and desires. It's rare that women are able to express their fantasies on a grand scale. And even in comic adaptations, they're often portrayed as tough, funny, and self-assured. Rarely do they get to be the architects of their own destiny. Wonder Woman balances lightness and humor with a deeper, more serious tone. The feminism of the film is sly and is seen in many scenes. For example, when characters of color make comments about their station in life, and Diana faces sexism from powerful men who underestimate her intelligence. Patty Jenkins's direction makes the feminism, charming performances, and delightful humor all the more enchanting. Despite some flaws, Wonder Woman is a beautiful, kind-hearted, and inspiring film. Director Patty Jenkins and her collaborators have done what many thought was impossible. They've made a Wonder Woman film that gets it right. Number 3. Spartacus. Spartacus is the story of a Thracian slave who is trained as a gladiator. He revolts, amassing an army against Rome's vast military might. Though, his enthusiasm doesn't help him much, and he's captured and crucified in front of his wife and newborn son. The film is a shining example of what could be considered to be a perfect film. It not only captures the ideals and principles it is trying to convey, but also does so in a wonderful fashion with its cast. The cinematography, shot by the great Kubrick, only enhances the grandeur and scope of the film. Though it is a stark contrast from his signature directing style, Kubrick's Spartacus remains one of his most well-known movies, and stands out among other epic works made in the time period. A fantastic film, Spartacus is deep and has staying power. The acting is phenomenal, the visuals are fantastic, and the themes are still relevant. This film is an ode to the late Kirk Douglas, who fought tirelessly to get this film made despite complications on set with Kubrick. It's still considered one of the great epics of the classic Hollywood era for a reason. Number 2. Troy. Troy is an epic adaptation of Homer's Iliad. This thrill ride through ancient Greek mythology tells the story of the Trojan War, and its interesting mix of characters including kings, warriors, and their women. It's brought to life with lavish treatments, enhanced by overwhelming cinematography and sweeping special effects. The Troy script by David Benioff is modern cinematic literature at its finest. He achieves the difficult task of creating an engaging and comprehensive narrative from Homer's sprawling story, using a historical rather than mythological approach. As a result, Benioff introduces a large number of essential characters and events, while making sure they remain distinct and memorable. He also conjures up an impressive number of dialogue lines that help capture the cross-millennial significance of war during antiquity. Troy is a film with beautiful cinematography and stunning images that will keep you on the edge of your seat. The combat scenes are brilliantly choreographed, with Peterson fully succeeding in creating an ambitious and immersive experience. It's a magnificent cinematic achievement that's worth watching. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 1, 300. It's hard to resist the feeling of wanting to exclaim about a filmmaker's career after seeing something like 300. Director Zack Snyder, the man behind the remake of George Romero's Dawn of the Dead, is proving that traditional storytelling will never go out of style. He does this by adapting Frank Miller's graphic novel with creativity and passion. As a result, his story comes to life in a look that is both cool and exciting. In a groundbreaking cinematic work, director Zack Snyder has merged the old-school myths with modern techniques to create a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. It's possible that he has redeemed modern movie-making with this film. The plot of the film is simple, which is one of the film's greatest virtues. Rather than drowning audiences in plot details or getting into military strategy, Snyder has broadened Miller's story for a great interpretation. In this film, a Greek-inspired conflict reaches out to modern audiences. The archetypal storytelling tradition is combined with a technique that brings the ancient past to life. It's not clear whether great movie myths are born or bred, but 300 is undeniably one of them. We hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this one. And thank you so much for watching.